Hey everyone, my name is Marissa. Welcome to my divination channel. I am so excited to be here with you guys, and thank you so much for 1,000 subscribers. This is a really great and fun and exciting milestone for this channel, so thank you so much for being along this journey with me. I'm going to say this again, and I've said this before each reading and these November energy spreads, that I'm offering a really incredible, amazing, and probably once in like this lifetime kind of opportunity. And I just wanted to let you guys know now, because I know the people that watch these videos and really resonate with these readings, you guys have probably heard me speak about breathwork and meditation as really important and essential tools in order to clear the channel between our limited mind and that of our higher mind. Okay, so granting us more access to ease and peace and to hearing the wisdom of our soul, hearing our inner guidance. And I am in a certification program, and in about 3 weeks I will be certified. So between now and that certification, I'm opening up just a few hours a day to offer private one-to-one donation-based 20-minute personally curated breathwork and meditation containers. So if this is something that interests you and you've heard me talk about it before and you're like, that'd be cool, but make sure to definitely check it out. All of that is in the description box, okay? And it's been an honor to serve you guys through tarot and divination, and it's an honor to serve anyone that is genuinely called to work with me. So thank you so much for sticking around for that. And these readings are all about November energies. We have 3 aspects we're diving into. The first is the main theme of the month of November, as well as any milestones that you can look forward to or expect. And lastly, your areas of growth and your challenge points. So 4 groups to choose from today. Take your time. You can pause the video if you need to. And whenever you're feeling ready, let's hop right into these readings. Hey group 1, welcome to your reading for November energies. There are 3 aspects we're diving into today, but before we get into any of the cards, you guys know that I always speak about the incredible benefits of breathwork and meditation in terms of opening the channel between our higher mind and our limited mind, or our human form, okay? So kind of clearing the debris between that channel, deepening our intuition and our wisdom. And I'm currently going through a certification program, and between now and when I'm certified, I have decided to open up donation-based one-to-one personally curated 20-minute breathwork and meditation containers, okay? So I'm announcing this across all my platforms. So if that is something that you are interested in, go ahead and check out the description box for more information on that. You guys probably know, if you've been around for a while in my field, on any of my channels or any of my offerings, I speak a lot about these types of containers and these tools and techniques that we have been gifted from ancient yogis and mystics to really come into greater alignment with our blueprint and why we're here, okay? So I wanted you guys to know that from the time this video is launching. We have about 2 weeks of those containers I'm offering. Okay, spots are limited, so I'm going to leave it at that. Jumping into the reading, we have 3 aspects we're diving into. We're diving into the overall energy theme for November, any highlights or milestones that you can expect, as well as areas of growth or challenge, right? We don't shy away from a good challenge, because we know everything is here to set us free. Everything is here to grow us and shape us, okay? So we're going to go ahead and get started. I've connected with the guides of those beings that are drawn to this pile today. And this first question, Spirit, for those beings that are drawn to this channel, those guides that are overseeing those souls drawn to this channel, what is the main energy for the month of November? What can they expect energetically? Thank you, Spirit. Next, Spirit, diving into the highlights and milestones those beings that are drawn to this pile can expect. What are the highlights and milestones for the month of November, please? Highlights and milestones, month of November, please. And know that you guys can skip past this if you don't want to stick around for the shuffling, but I like to leave it in here. Ooh, we got a little sneak peek because some people enjoy it. Okay, and lastly, areas of growth and challenge for pile number 1. What are the areas of growth and or challenge? Okay, areas of growth or challenge for pile number 1. Okay. All right. And these are here. I'm just going to shuffle this once on camera for clarification if needed. All right, so Spirit, we're asking about the main energy for the month of November for pile number 1. We have healing, holy, Pachamama. I love this. So already there is an aspect about November that feels very nurturing. During this time of year, depending on where you're at in this world, I do know that most of my following or the people that have subscribed to this channel are from the United States. And, this time of year is fall. We're moving into fall. So there's kind of like this wholesome, getting close to family and more of like, I'm already getting this sense of kind of like an internalized sense of self. So really taking care of yourself, and I am feeling like festivities and just being around like loved ones, chosen family, people you love. We have Maya with illusion here. Let's see, what is this about? I'm already getting a feeling, but I want to get deeper with the tarot. So what is this energy, the main theme? Yeah, a big part, yes, okay. A big part of November for you guys is about understanding how our mind and our beliefs really play into how whole we feel and how healthy we feel. And so I feel like this is highlighted by, there's something that's going to be illumined, right? There's a sense of illumination and like you're peeling back the veil, so to speak, right? Maya, illusion, the veil of illusion. It's like it's being lifted. And I feel like you're receiving clarity on, for some of you, it's something that is like a physical thing. And maybe it's even, this could just be symbolic for assuming that something is set in stone, right? So November is highlighted by something that I feel like you have been trying to get clarity around or trying to heal, whether it be spiritually, emotionally, maybe physically for some of you. And you're seeing how things aren't exactly how we thought they were. Okay, and especially when you're in the realms that people like you and I are drawn to, pile number 1, things don't work the same, right? The more expanded, we see this in yogis, like there's proof of this, right? We see this especially with technology, that the more expanded our lens of perception is, and another way of saying that, the more expanded our awareness is, things work differently. But denser forms of consciousness, right, are more predictable, I guess you could say, or it's more of like what our modern society is based on is like denser forms of consciousness, all right, where science is like things are black, white. So because of this, then this, where you're seeing that that's not the case and that things are actually much more fluid. Okay. And I feel like how this is going to be applying to you guys is going to be different, but the message is still the same across the board. It feels like an awakening, like a breath of fresh air. Like, oh my God, I thought that I was stuck in this situation, or I thought that this couldn't change, or I thought it was this way. But you're starting to see, the more that you allow light codes into your field, another way of saying that, the more that you're expanding your consciousness, the more that you're seeing things are not set in stone. Nothing on this planet is absolute, okay? Especially on this planet. Nothing is absolute. Everything is flexible. And so this is being highlighted by like a breath of fresh air. So moving on, 3 of Swords. Yeah, I feel like it's something that has been plaguing you for a while. Something that maybe even like had like played a toll on your self-esteem. Okay, so you're gaining greater clarity. And November feels just like, it feels like, I don't know how else to explain it. Besides, it feels like a breath of like the most pristine air after we have been oxygen deprived. Okay, but you're really seeing how you once viewed a certain situation. You're finding clarity, and that clarity always leads us to seeing the spiritual nature behind something. So you're understanding the reason why something was in your life, the reason why maybe even someone was in your life, and how you kind of felt like broken for a long time, or like something was like messing with your self-esteem, you felt unworthy. And so something's going to happen to where November, you're just receiving, you're just in this energy of ready for a new story, ready for a new narrative. Okay. So a lot of clarity is coming in and you're not feeling as plagued. And honestly, this is like such breakthrough energy, because when we experience this, in one area of our life, like it leaks into everything to where we're like, holy wow, like things are not as I thought they were. And I feel like you've been ready for a more whole version of yourself. Another way of saying that, a more authentic version of yourself, a version of yourself where you're not operating under as many protection mechanisms, and where you're not questioning your value and questioning what is possible for your life. Okay, so this can apply honestly to all areas of life. And we'll definitely get deeper to see what areas in particular might be coming up, but this feels really good, okay? This is like, wow, you are reclaiming more of your divinity and awakening more source codes within your field. So next are the highlights and milestones. We have time to go and we have here and now. So there might be some sort of like transition that you're making. And this could also be saying this like kind of awakening that you're having. It's like November feels like a high, you know, like of course it's going to be like this, but I feel like, you know, those peaks and valleys are like, I don't know how to explain this. It's like, you know how peaks and valleys can be like this, let's see, like this, they're starting to get like higher. So your low point in the month of November is like a high point to a version of yourself like 5 years ago, that kind of thing. You know, we're constantly upgrading, up leveling, but I feel like overall, despite the natural ebbs and flows that are going to happen on this plane of polarity, it feels like a high. And so I feel like that's aiding into some sort of breakthrough and some sort of like, okay, let's get this show on the road. Like either we're going towards something or we're walking away from something. And it's like you're really taking control of your future and your destiny by getting more clear within yourself. Okay, so there's a level of peace and there's a level of like breakthrough that I'm really feeling. And so I feel like you might even be guided to make a different decision or to go after something that maybe in the past you wouldn't have, right? Because you were still operating under a certain narrative. But because I'm seeing that there's new narratives being written, like you're embodying and you're allowing in a wider scope of perception. And so because of that, naturally, your actions are going to be different. Let's get more. I want to know what this is about. So what are the highlights and milestones? What does this have to do with in particular, please, Spirit? Yeah, so definitely going for something with this Knight of Wands energy. Lovers, interesting. Okay, so I feel like, ooh, High Priestess. Wow, this is beautiful. We have the Ace of Cups as well. So it feels like your intuition is off the charts, okay? And there's something has been plaguing you. Something was plaguing you, and I feel like it caused you, you know, illusion and suffering leads us to ask questions. It leads us for like this deep desire to like become free, right? And free from our way of thinking, free from whatever pain it's bringing us. And a lot of the time, it's not necessarily free from the thing in the physical reality. Sometimes, yeah, I see that could most certainly be relevant for you, but I really am seeing it's like an expansion of perception is leading you to operate a lot differently. It's bringing in so much more peace into your field because you've let go the weight of something, some like virus, you know, like thinking of our minds as like a computer program. You've released some sort of virus that was like not allowing you to operate in your most authentic version of self. And it's brought so much peace. Okay. And so I feel like there's things that are coming towards you. It's like, I think this is really saying you're already intuiting this, or you're going to start to intuit like things as they come in. And this, I feel like you might even intuit if you're single, especially, like you might start to feel in love before you meet someone. Or, you know, you might start to feel like, oh, I should probably do this. I don't know why I should go here. Gosh, this happened to me recently. I was like, I don't know why I feel like I need to go to this thing, to this event. And I went there and I definitely met someone very significant. Okay. And so it's that kind of thing of in your highlights and your milestones are going after what you want. And there's such a state of presence within this group. and being centered within yourself and being focused, and it's really allowing you to tune into your truth. Okay, there's 2 cards here that majorly tell me that your intuition is like coming online to a new level. Okay, and you're going to be following those intuitive nudges, and this is really also encouragement at the same time, pile number 1, because it's saying like you might be guided to do things or go places that you're like, why am I guided to do this? But this is how this world works. The deeper we get into this world of the formlessness and of synchronicity, okay, it's like we don't always know why. Like someone just told me this incredible story about how she randomly got the nudge in a meditation to reach out to someone from high school, and she did, and she was like, hey, can we talk about this thing? Can we talk about maybe partnering up together, and I can offer like my services to you, or we can like team up, because they were like in different fields, but fields that could like work well together. And the guy ended up like no-showing her, and she actually saw someone at the place she went to as she was waiting for him. She was like, this is so random. I don't know why I'm reaching out, but I need to honor my intuition. And some guy actually came up to her that was like the founder of this like incredible organization that was looking for someone that had the skills that she was meeting with that other person about, that stood her up. And so she made this incredible connection. And if she had questioned her intuition and not done that, she would have missed out on that incredible opportunity. And so that's the kind of like synchronicity that you're operating under in the month of November. So I would really encourage you to follow your intuitive hits, regardless of if it makes sense, because you never know who you're going to meet. You're never going to know who you're going to meet. That's a very significant player in your unfolding and your destiny. Okay. And so there's a lot about meditation. 3 main cards here that really talk about meditation. 2 main cards that really talk about when you get the download to go for it, to not question it, and to walk with authority, okay? Lastly, for the challenges of this month and growth points of November, we have entrance and we have authority. Yeah, so you are definitely upgrading. This is like a huge up-level type of energy that I'm really picking up from this. And so I feel like this is really about owning and knowing that this new doorway you're about to enter through, that you're about to go through, this new paradigm you're breaking into, you deserve it, okay? And let's see what area this might have specifically to do with, or anything else Spirit can tell us, because, you know, especially in group readings, we can't get too many details for things. Like, we can get clues, but sometimes, you know, Spirit's like, you just need to let live and let live, right? So we have the Fool. Yeah, there's definitely a new beginning coming in for you guys. There's a sense of no going back. So what I love about the 6 of Swords, there's 6 swords sticking into the boat, right? 6 swords sticking into the boat. And so if this woman were to take out any of the swords, water would start to fill. And so this is like, okay, I'm in the boat and I have to continue on with my journey. So there is a sense of like turning away from something. And, you know, anytime we're going towards something new, inevitably, it's like we're going to be turning away from something. Okay. But the reason I'm saying that is because some of you, this highlight is about like walking away from something. And so opening the door for something new. And the highlight is like, I got to go for this. And because of that, something naturally falls away, that kind of thing. But I feel like the biggest part of this is following, right? The growth point and the challenge point might be to like, you're like, wow, I'm feeling so high. Is this actually a good decision for me to make? And I am getting I do feel Spirit really coming through and saying that when you are in the state of like meditating more and getting those divine downloads, that is the highest point of authority, right? That is your highest authority speaking to you, and you know, you should follow it. Okay, so maybe some of you guys want to check out my my breathwork and meditation containers for sure, because this is going to be personally curated for you guys. Okay, and we can totally go into a meditation juiciness, talking about, okay, what's that step, Spirit? Yeah, I can most certainly guide you into that. Is there anything else that we need to know? So I feel like it's just really about knowing that you're entering this new level, new version of yourself, and I feel like it's a no going back point, okay? And so to not feel like you're making like manic decisions, especially if you're already have a good, there's fast energy coming through for sure. There's this expansion, okay? And so maybe I feel like it's more of just questioning, like, is this a good idea? And maybe thinking like, is this energy? Is this enough? Is this dream enough? Is this like, you've unlocked something big, I really am feeling. And you're like, is this what I'm feeling now enough to carry me through? Is this faith? Is this new
expanded level of perception going to carry me through? And first of all, just know that there's going to be ebbs and flows to everything, and it can carry you through. And to not get thrown off by the moments where maybe the excitement comes down, because that's what's going to happen. And, you know, when we utilize breath work, meditation, plant medicine for some people, any type of thing, like spiritual teachings can do this too. Like our field, our lens of perception is constantly going like this. Okay, so it's going to expand a lot and it's going to come back in. And it's going to expand a lot, then it's going to come back in, but you're slowly but surely expanding that lens of perception. So understand, you're going through a big expansion. It might contract a little bit, but just know you're at a new baseline, okay? You are at a point to where you can sustain this new paradigm. And there is a big message here about sticking with your meditation sessions, sticking with those tools and techniques that you have to really ground yourself into this present moment and to receive that divine clarity, because I feel like things are going to be picking up fast, and that might even be a challenge, is that you have had an old narrative. Part of this release that you're going through in November is there's an old narrative that was attached to it that good things take time, or that like things are always going to take forever, or it's never going to really be here. And so what might be challenging you is that there is a new, more expansive lens of perception that you're operating under, and it's like, maybe too good to be true. And so it's not feeding into that negative narrative of this is too good to be true, that narrative that was more familiar to you, and really allowing yourself to be carried away by this energy. Okay, yeah, there's definitely a no going back. You're entering into a new paradigm, and I'm so excited for you. This feels so good, and it's time to go. Yeah, your destiny calls, and I do feel like this has a big part of this has to do with what you're contributing to the planet. And I'm just gonna leave it here for now, because I could go on about this energy. If this was your pile today, go ahead and leave something in the comment section. Anything that, like an emoji that feels relevant to this. If anything, leave the good old meditating emoji down below. And yeah, if you do want to sign up for one of those breathwork and meditation containers, make sure to check out the description box. And yeah, that's it for today. Much love, you guys. Hey, group number 2, welcome to your reading all about November energies. There are 3 aspects to these readings, but before we get into that, I really want to extend this exciting opportunity to you guys. So if you've been following any of my platforms, you know that I go on about the importance of expanding the channel between our limited self, so our human form, and our divine self, the higher mind, the higher self. And I have learned certain tools and techniques along the way in my journey that really help deepen our intuition and deepen our confidence and our trust in that soul stream, and that help that expand in expanding that conduit. And so by the time you guys are seeing this, between this video going live and for the next 2 weeks following that, I'm going to be opening one-to-one donation-based private breathwork and meditation containers. These will be 20 minutes, and you can learn more about it in the description box. But essentially, I will be curating breathwork sequences to aid and support you in whatever areas you are wanting support in. Okay, so this is leading up to my certification. I've been going through a 3-month program, and certification is right around the corner. And so I'm really excited to offer these types of containers. This will probably be the only time that I offer this type of one-to-one container in a donation-based setting. Okay, so if that calls to you in any way, please do not hesitate. Spots are limited, and I'm announcing this across all of my social media platforms. Okay, so yeah, go for it. Don't hesitate. So 3 aspects for this reading. We're going to be diving into the main energy theme for the month of November, as well as any highlights or what does that say? Milestones. I can't read my own handwriting. Highlights and milestones, as well as areas of growth or challenge points. But we know that we don't shy away from challenges, because it all is here to usher us into our greatest and most freest version of self in this life. Okay, so I've connected with the guides that are going to, that are overseeing the souls drawn to pile number 2 today. So to the guides overseeing those individuals drawn to this pile, we are asking, what is the main energy theme for the month of November? What is the main energy theme for the month of November? Okay. And you can skip past this part if you don't like the shuffling, but I leave it in as much as I can because I know some people appreciate it. Okay, so highlights and milestones for those souls drawn to this pile. Highlights and milestones for the souls drawn to this pile, please, Spirit. What are the highlights and milestones that they can expect? Okay. And lastly, any areas of growth or challenge for pile number 2? Any areas of growth or challenge, okay? All right, let's get into this. And I'm going to shuffle this just once. All right, what's the main energy for the month of November for pile number 2? We have abundance. Love to hear it. We are not upset about it. And anger and rage. Interesting. Before I even got into this reading, I heard something about there was going to be a pile that was extremely polarizing, where it seemed like two things couldn't go together. But what I'm really getting from this is you're unblocking energy in your sacral chakra, and that's allowing more of it to flow into all other areas. Okay, so right away I'm already hearing guidance from the guides about to not be thrown off by the sacred anger and rage, and to invite it in and see what it has to show you, see what it has to tell you. And to not be so judgmental about it, okay? So what does this have to do with? So the main energy, tell us more about this, Spirit. Oh, I see. You guys have been working really hard for something. And I feel like wondering, is it ever going to come in? Okay, let's see. Okay. All right. Yes. Okay, so November is looking good, you guys. And I feel like you guys have been working really hard towards something that matters to you. For some people, that might be a wellness business or giving back to the world in some way. And I feel like there's been some Spirit, why does it happen? Why is it happening for other people? I feel like my heart's in the right place. I feel like I've been working really hard. You know that, I want to do right. I want to make money and earn a living, and I want to do it in a way that's in alignment with my soul's blueprint. And I feel like you've been working really hard wondering, is this ever going to happen? Is this ever going to come in? And I do feel like November is offering, I'm already seeing a milestone, something's going to happen, right? We have 2 major arcana coming up out of the 3 cards. So there is a major transformation that is happening. You're seeing how far you're coming. And I feel like this feels like a job well done, okay? And a new cycle is beginning, right? There's some sort of completion. You learned the lesson, you learned something, and I feel like it hasn't even been there was one lesson for you to learn of why it seems like you've been working so hard to little avail. It wasn't one thing. It was a series of little upgrades, a series of little up levelings. And I'm getting the sense, I'm seeing someone making little progressions of little times that you were shot down, little moments where you felt ridiculed, or you felt small, or you were self-critical, or you were about to give up and you didn't. And if you feel like you're about to give up, this is your sign, then don't, because you are about to complete a major cycle to where there's a line being drawn to where it's never going to be the same, regardless of how long you've been on this path, regardless of how successful you feel you already are. I am getting the sense that November is marked by a milestone in an area of your life that really matters. And it's an area that I feel like it's holistically, you feel prosperous. Maybe it's the people, maybe it literally is money and finances. Okay. And so it's really lit. It's had this fire, this sacred anger and rage has it's not taking away, it hasn't taken away from your passion, but I feel like in a way, the anger and the frustration has almost fueled the flame of fuck it. I'm not I deserve this. And so I feel like this was really about you being established in that vibration of, I freaking deserve this. I'm not giving up. I'm seeing 444 on the clock right now. I'm not giving up. And because you pushed on, or this is saying continue on, you're almost there, you're going to reap huge rewards. Okay. And I feel like energetically you're already feeling it, and it's only a matter of time. Pile 2, it's only a matter of time. Do not give up. Okay. Keep pushing on. Huge cycle is ending, and it is marked by an inner transformation. Okay. So let's move on with the highlights of this month, the highlights and milestones. We have why. And we have the fates. Yeah, fate is turning, man. That is so clear. right? Things are turning, and I feel like you're getting clarity about why things took so long, or why you're like getting little nuggets, even if it's not like this one big epiphany of like, oh, this is why. You know, my guides sometimes give me little glimpses of what, look, we see the Ace of Wands at the bottom, of why some things have like taken a little bit longer, or why I think that they have taken longer. And I see how there were intricate steps and intricate pieces that needed to be in place before I could really serve to the level of integrity that I want to serve at, right? And so sometimes if we get things like that we think we want, but before we're actually ready, that integrity hasn't established itself, and that's when things get a little bit weird. And it's like your guides are really protecting you, okay? They don't want you to accrue negative karma, and they want what you're building to be based off of as much purity that you can possibly have. And they knew that was important to your soul. That, you know, it's clear to me that was important to you. And so I feel like your the major highlight and milestone is like, wow, like this is for real, but in a really good way, and kind of understanding the purpose behind you know, why things have unfolded in your life, even if it doesn't have anything to do with this main theme. I feel like in general you're feeling very peaceful about the unfolding events in your life, whether it was like things that, you know, I did notice that this was I tried to come up in a reverse position. So whether things that were good or bad, wanted, unwanted, whatever you would deem them, you're like feeling very contented about the natural unfolding of all events in your life. Okay, so next we're gonna just dive a little bit deeper into this. Is there anything else we need to know about the highlights of this? Highlights and milestones. Okay, so what way does this want to be? Okay, so Eight of Wands in reverse. We have the Tower in reverse. We have Temperance, and we have the Knight of Swords. So yeah, this is like telling a very similar story. So I feel like a major milestone that's coming in is there's something good. This milestone has to do with something good that was born of something that at the time felt negative, something at the time that felt like you didn't want it to happen. Okay, and so that's a very cryptic message. But again, there's people that it's going to apply very differently to a lot of people, depending on life. All right, but I do feel like a milestone is some sort of epiphany that you have about why things have unfolded in your life. And it might also have to do with this sacred anger and this rage and this things finally tying up for you. You know, there's a major transition and transformation that November is marked by, and it has you being more patient. Okay, like you're appreciating the patience. This epiphany in general, I feel like, is helping all other areas of your life, because it seems like there's a lot of fiery energy to you, and along with that can come impulsivity. Okay, the Knight of Wands the Knight of Swords knows all about that. All right, and so overall, I feel like there's something that you have been waiting for that feels like it's been taking a long time to come around. So I do feel like it is linked to this, that has like tested your patience. And at first you were like wanting to throw in the towel and things weren't working out, and you were like, you had tried different things and things never like got off the ground the way that you wanted them to. Okay. And so now I feel like you're starting to feel like you understand the why, or even if you don't understand conceptually, like spiritually, you're like, okay, you know, like this is okay. It's coming. And yeah, good things are on the way. And I feel like you're even getting glimpses. There's something definitely happening to where you see tangible like things that show you you're on the right path. And it might even be, you know, this has been happening to me, and I've become so aware of it in the last couple of days that I'm not surprised that I'm having this reading with you guys right now, because I feel like my guides were bringing my awareness to it so I could extend it to you guys as well. And it's like right before I release something that like does really well or that is well received, I have like a huge resistance to it. Like I have a huge resistance to it because like I'm judging myself or I'm overcritical, and it does so well. Or like, something goes viral or something, it brings in a lot of kind of traffic, or, is kind of showing me, it's my indication of aligning with my highest timeline, right? And so that might be relevant for you to keep in mind that we tend to feel a bit more resistance to things in our life, like right before they're about to take off. And we might even become a little bit more critical of our work and of things right before they take off. And so to not judge after appearances, and don't take the cues from that incessant little voice, that is not serving. Okay. So next is the areas of growth and challenge in your life. Beloved, or in this month, I mean, we have vision, we have Venus and Neptune coming up. We have partnership, and we have home. Okay, there's so much here about family and soul family and soulmates too. So I want to get deeper already, because this can, it can mean a lot of things to, and there's going to be many different people and different types of dynamics. But something about, you might be feeling like you're growing. It doesn't really feel like a challenge. It feels like more of an area of growth. Let's get deeper before I jump to any conclusions. Queen of Swords. We have the High Priestess in reverse, coming right up above Neptune. That's interesting. Judgment, Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Swords. Two tens in the Judgment card as well. So, challenge point, area of growth. I feel like this has to do with, you're going through a lot of internal revisions, and there's just a little bit of confusion about how this is going to affect the people in your life. Okay, this transformation that you're going through, how is this going to affect the people in your life? And so it's really important. I'm already seeing the piece of advice is to be as expressive as you can to people. Just like keep them updated with what you're going through, because I feel like sometimes when we go through these epic moments of growth, it's like people are happy for us, and sometimes we can feel that like vibrationally, it's like, well, why do they not feel happy? And it's because they don't know like where they're going to fall into the future picture. They're like, I can't, where's this going? And I feel like it has to do with people that are close to you, maybe even friends or something, or things that just make you feel at home, like soul family, people that make you feel at home. Okay. But it's like the more that you're stepping into this brightest version of yourself, don't let anyone speak into your ear and tell you they know what's best for you, first and foremost. Okay. So maybe even a challenge or a growth point is like, you are like, things are picking up, things are getting good. And it's like, people aren't as excited for you as you thought that they would be. And that's their own karma. That's their own thing that they got going on, that they have to work out. Okay. And so I feel like there might be a challenge is that new people are coming in, and some people might be leaving in terms of the people that have been part of your life for, it could be a couple months or years or whatever. Okay. But I'm just getting that regardless of that, you are someone that is very about their journey. And like, what I mean by that is someone that's about their purpose. Okay. So the bigger picture is what's most important to you. Actualizing on your soul's mission is what's most important to you. All right. So I feel like comings and goings don't really affect you the same way that they might affect other people. Take it as it is, take that as that comes, or leave what doesn't resonate. But I feel like for most of you, that's really the case. And the only time we start to get in this rut of feeling like we don't really know what to do or where to go is maybe because we are putting other people's needs above our own. All right. We're taking into consideration, like we're getting too carried away about the what ifs versus just being present and taking each step as it comes and knowing that the rest will fall into place as it goes. Okay. So you can honor your vision and you can, continue to show up as you are, but to not be surprised when there's people that, are just maybe a little bit triggered, because you are embodying this version of yourself. You're starting to see success in certain areas and they want that. And it's not a them thing. It's, you know, we know it's their lens of perception, right? So yeah, I mean, this is marked. There's so much change. There's so much completion. There's like 4 major cards, 3 major cards that talked about completion, 5 major cards that talk about completion. And like, there's a sense that fate is taking over, and that you have been showing up consistently. You have been persevering. You have not been giving up. And so things are shifting, pile 2. And it's the better it gets, the better it gets. And I really do feel like you have really surpassed expectations in terms of like your own expectations. And I feel like it's obvious to other people, but I feel like you might not even see how far you've come. All right. And how much, wow, that's so weird. I literally just had someone say that to me today of yeah, something very similar. So I'm not surprised I'm doing this reading, because that is your energy of, don't be surprised if someone this month says, you have changed so much. And whether that's good, whether they like are saying that with a tone of like, you have changed so much, or like, you have changed so much, know that it's for the best. Okay. So whatever tone they're saying it with, don't change or don't stop down your path. Okay. And be firm and be honest, and, you know, be direct with people when you need to be. All right. You're definitely, that's going to help. That's going to help weed out the things that are just not needed anymore, and that are kind of like fogging up your vision. All right, in terms of where you're going. So I'm going to leave this here for now. If this was your reading today, go ahead and let's leave that book down below. All right, a book or a bookmark, whatever, or whatever your favorite emoji is. And yeah, thanks for joining me. If you guys do want to jump into one of those containers, be sure to check out that link in my description box. Don't sleep on that opportunity. It's going to be lit. All right, bye you guys. Hey, pile number 3, welcome to your reading. In regards to November energies, I'm super excited to dive into this with you. Before we get started, I just wanted to extend this invitation. This is a really exciting, probably once in a lifetime, we'll see, opportunity that I'm going to be hosting. So between the time you're seeing this video and for 2 weeks following that, I am opening a few hours within my day to guide one-to-one private, personally curated breathwork and meditation sessions. Okay, these will be 20 minutes. All right, these are powerful. Even that can bring so much breakthrough. And just so you guys know, if you've been following me for a while, I'm very adamant about talking, and very passionate, I guess, about talking about the necessity to cultivate a more seamless, streamlined channel between our higher self and our limited self, our human form, especially when we've become serious about actualizing our highest timeline and aligning with our soul's intention for being here. Okay, so breathwork and meditation are actually meant to be paired together, at least, you know, back into 5,000 BCE in the Indus Valley when it was born. These things have been going hand in hand because breathwork sets us up for a deeper meditation. All right, so very excited. I'm going through a certification program, and in about 3 weeks, I will be certified. And so, but between then and now, I feel confident to offer these to you guys. And I'm really excited. So if you want to learn more, head to the description box and check out the link that I have down below. And yeah, we're going to get into your reading now. So we are diving into November energies, 3 aspects: the main energy theme overall for the month of November, highlights and milestones that you can look forward to, as well as areas of growth or challenge. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Remembering these are timeline probabilities that I'm tuning into. Nothing is ever set in stone. Okay, so main energy themes, month of November. What is the main energy theme for the month of November? Main energy theme for pile number 3, please. What is the main energy theme for pile number 3? Ooh, we like that. We are here for the pleasure. Okay. Next, highlights and milestones, please. For group number 3. What are the highlights and milestones? Guides overseeing the souls drawn to this, please let us know. What are the highlights and milestones? Okay. And lastly, areas of growth and challenge for pile number 3. Areas of growth and challenge. Growth or challenge. Okay. And shuffle this once on camera. All right, let's get into it. Main theme for group number 3 for November, we have surrender, Yamaya, and Hathor with pleasure. This is so beautiful. So you guys are in your divine feminine essence, your divine feminine energy. If you guys are meditating, I'm hearing that you guys are feeling this, like, it's this sense of, man, when you've touched and you've tapped into like the nectar of your true essence, it's like you don't want to leave it. It feels like so scrumptious and you're just suspended, like time does not exist. And that's kind of the energy that I'm getting overall, even if you're not experiencing that in your sessions, right? I feel like you are experiencing that just overall. You're in the energy of things come to me. Very sensual, very beautiful, very lovely. Okay, so yeah, things are like, these look like little wishes. I'm seeing these as like little wishes, like wish fulfillment with the pleasure, okay? So things are very dreamy for you. Where's Neptune at? Did Neptune just do something? I don't know, but I feel like it just transitioned into another sign. I don't know. Don't quote me, okay? Next, yeah, actually, before we get, I want to see what in particular this has to do with. I'm getting carried away. Okay, so what does this have to do with, please, Spirit? Yes, we know. It feels good, okay, with that sun. Yeah, it feels so warm. You feel so positive. You feel so bright. Things just make sense. You're operating from divine clarity, okay? We got the Empress coming up too. You're operating from divine clarity. And yeah, this is like, I don't know what else I can say. Like, things are just coming to you. Like, people are very magnetized towards you. You look very beautiful. People might be commenting on your appearance, or you just might get stopped in public a lot in November. People complimenting your hair, people complimenting your tattoos if you have any, complimenting your jewelry, your eyes, right? Some of you might wear like things on your head, like headdresses or hats or like barrettes or something. But you're getting a lot of compliments, I feel. And people think they're complimenting your physical appearance, but it's your vibration. It's your energy. You are literally a ball of positive radiation. Yeah, okay. So that might be happening too. All right. You're just like a catch, honestly, and people want to catch you. Okay. We see people. I feel like there's going to be a lot of people, even if you're in a relationship, wondering if you're in a relationship, wanting to know if you're in a relationship, but these are 3 major arcana, so this is big energy for November, okay? It's like you guys are really deepening into your truth, and there's almost like, it's like there's like an innocence, but there's also like you're giving this vibe of like, you know, it's creating a barrier to where the wrong people won't approach you. All right, and your bullshit radar is like super strong this month. But yeah, I feel like things are just feel good. Things feel dreamy. Things feel like I'm getting excited. Like I just want to soak into this energy so I can, you know, manifest more of this for myself. So I'm just going to soak in it. But yeah, that's how people feel too. Like people are going to feel like, I just want to soak in this energy. I just want to soak in this essence, okay, and this nectar. All right. But yeah, notice that the breasts are out in both of these. So you're very comfortable. You're feeling very comfortable with your physique, with your body. You're feeling very beautiful. And you're just attracting things that I feel like you're here for. All right. Surrender and pleasure. It's like things are coming easy to you. And maybe you worked hard to get to a point to where it has to, you know, it seems easy. And that might seem like a weird paradox, but I get it. You know, we're in this hyper masculine culture where it's like we have to work our asses off and we have to try so hard. And it's like, you know, I think I'm gonna just do me. And you see how easy it can actually be. Okay. I'm seeing this kind of like as a magician wand too. So like things are just manifesting for you very rapidly. Yeah. This conch shell reminds me of like, you know, like overcoming karma. So finally like setting yourself free. So let's get deeper of the highlights and milestones. Yang, interesting. That's so interesting because this is so feminine that we have Yang coming up and we have breathe. Ooh, so confirmation. Maybe y'all are breathing with me. Kind of kidding, but kind of not. Okay, so a big milestone for you is there is like the things that you're receiving in meditation, the downloads, the guidance. It's like you're creating from such an easeful place. And I feel like a big part of that is because you were in this relaxed state. And so it's like when you're putting your needs first, And this is what it means to like have a divine feminine run a business. This is what I see when women are like running businesses. Even if you're a man, you can be really in tune with your divine feminine nature. But the divine feminine in business is a lot different than the divine masculine. Okay, the divine masculine is very active. Okay, and I'm not necessarily saying it's negative, but what our representation of the masculine in business and just life is very like hustle culture and very overextended. It's very like go until I'm completely depleted. And so I feel like this is really saying because you're so immersed in this feminine energy, and this is what I was feeling like you guys have worked hard to get here, because I'm getting the sense that you guys, whether you're women or not, okay, whether you're women or men, I'm so sorry, whatever gender you identify with, you're coming from a lot of masculine energy. So you're coming from a lot of, if it's going to happen, I got to do it. I got to go after it. So maybe you guys are recovering like hustlers, recovering. Maybe some of you guys are recovering hustlers, but like hustle culture recovery. And so you're actually seeing how easy things can be when it's like, okay, I'm just like relaxed and I'm floating and I get a download and I do it, and wow, like that video goes viral, or, something happens. And I use examples that are like, have happened in my life. So, let it apply in the area that it applies, where you get just a random little download and, something really good happens. It's like something big comes from something that you weren't expecting that was like kind of small. So what does this have to do with what area of life for this highlights and milestone? Yeah, this could be saying like attracting like masculine energy now that you're more in your feminine too. It could be like a masculine person. What is happening? The people that are drawn to this channel, like you guys are going through insane upgrades. It's so beautiful to see, honestly. So yeah, there's like some sort of heart awakening, the intuition coming on more. And I feel like it is because you're, when we are in a state of stress and, we have cortisol and adrenaline running through our system, the amygdala is what sends a signal to the hypothalamus to release those chemicals. And when that happens, other areas of our brain that are linked to creativity, intuition actually shut down. So I'm getting the sense that you guys have really done a lot to move out of that space, to move out of the space of fight, flight, or freeze, stress, cortisol, those more acidic hormones, and you're in a more alkaline state. And because of it, it's like you are receiving divine downloads, divine messages. Synchronicities are off the wall, and there's a new beginning. I don't know what it is, but it's very clear there's something new. It has to do with creation, something that you're getting a download and you're acting on it. Even if you're already established, like in your career, it's like, this could even be saying that there's many of these moments happening to where you get a divine idea, a download, you're like, I'm going with it, I'm just going to go for it, and you put it out there and receive like it just does so well. And you're starting to see, wow, I'm not going to act until it feels like it's coming from that space of divinity. I'm not going to act. I'm going to act less and less from that degree of, ooh, I should do this. And I am going to just follow because it's what feels like my truth at this moment. I'm just going to follow when it feels like divinely inspired and to see what happens. We have the Page of Wands and we have the Nine of Swords. So yeah, I really feel like there is a huge milestone, is like this kind of, the Page of Wands did want to come up in reverse. And so to me, that's kind of like the Page of Wands, even though they're new, they don't really question things. So you're like seeing how imposter syndrome does not need to exist. You're seeing how, especially when things are coming from the divine self, we don't need to question that. And you're starting to like let yourself off the hook from all of these insane ways that we like convince ourselves that we're not ready for something, or we convince ourselves that someone else knows better than us what is right for our own path. Everyone's just doing their best they can. No one, I promise you, knows what's best for your life than your own self. Okay. And so following that. And so a huge milestone, I feel like, is in a big way, you're putting to rest a lot of like the seriousness that you used to take of these doubts, these fears, these insecurities that have no real basis in reality. Okay. And not really hesitating. The Page of Wands in reverse is like a hesitant type of energy. When it's so clear, I should do this, you're releasing a milestone, is like, you're not in that hesitant, oh, should I really do this? You're like, okay, all right, spirit, got the download. I'm going to do that. Yeah, that's actually how this whole program, oh my God, how the breathwork and meditation containers, open. That was a download I received after 10 minutes of breath and maybe 5 minutes of meditation. It was so clear. And so that kind of thing of like, we take our orders from the divine. And because of that, like we show up for our divine assignments. We show up confidently because we know it's our divine assignment. We know that this has been gifted from spirit. This is the hand of like God reaching out and being like, all right, here, this is like, I'm putting this in your heart and follow it. All right. So that is a huge milestone. And I feel like you guys are like, wow, like this is lit. This can be really fun. Okay. Everything you touch turns to gold kind of energy. So areas of growth or challenge, retrograde review, Aries act. We were definitely seeing that. Symbiosis, working with others in some sort of way, and Mercury messages. So areas of challenge. Let's get a little bit deeper. Or this could be saying areas of growth. This feels like more of a growth than it is a challenge. So can we get more specific? What does this have to do with? What does this have to do with? Anything else that we need to know? Oops. Anything else? Let's get these. This, 1, 2, 3. Oh, nope. Okay. We have 3 of Swords, King of Pentacles, the Lovers, and Death. Okay, so I feel like, the way these cards line up is really interesting because it paints such a clear story, because I feel like in terms of this review, it's like you're really appreciating how far you've come to be where you are. Okay. And so I feel like if anything, you're just reviewing the growth you've gone through. It doesn't seem like there's too much challenge this month. If anything, the major point of challenge is I feel like you might be getting texts from your ex or something, texts from people that kind of like are pulling on an old version of yourself, or there's like, it's almost symbolic for like old realities, or like, trying to convince you to not go. And I'm never surprised to see this when someone is majorly upgrading, because it's like those tethers, those cords, those energetic cords, because quantum physics even shows once 2 molecules kind of dance together, they're forever kind of like entangled, but I feel like you are positively still affecting and influencing them. And because they can feel how much you're growing, I feel like they might want to come back and try to like old flings from the past just might be coming back. Okay. And so learning how to speak with love, but also like authority and wisdom, and just being direct about what it is that you want, and just being honest about the people that still have space, in this new reality, and the people that don't. All right. And I feel like there's something else here too. These columns lined up so beautifully about working with other people, or some sort of a collaboration, or something about working with someone is stretching you beyond your limits or your comfort zone, but it's what you have to do. You have to put yourself out here in this way, or reach out about this collaboration, or say yes to this like sponsorship or something, take it how it applies to you. But something that just might be like, oh, am I really, wow, this person wants to work with me. Like, can I do this? And trusting where you're led, but also like trusting the intuitive nudge, but also knowing that I feel are at a place of such heightened authority, and like there's also such that innocence about you that I feel like you really don't know how much you bring to the table. And so that's the only reason why you might still have those lingering little like those little 9 of Swords moments of like, wow, you're kind of releasing those narratives of versions of self that are like, have died off, but there's still some like lingerings, because I feel like there's an opportunity that's presenting itself to work with someone, or to collaborate in some sort of way, or to go into some sort of like mentorship, or to meet someone that you really admire, to work with someone you really admire. And there's like a little bit of like, ooh, like, oh, okay, like I didn't know I felt this type of way. And, you know, it's bullshit. Okay. You got it going on. All right. So, next, what I'm seeing too as like an area of growth or challenge is like to not think that you have to, like, that life or the spiritual journey has to be so dry. Okay. So there's something here about when something is bringing you pleasure to not like, don't cut yourself off from that. And my guides work with me on this as well, because I can do this sometimes too, where I feel like I need to sacrifice, like, I don't know, it's this like fine line between, if I know something's not good for me, I'm not going to fuck around and find out. Like, I've drawn a line and I'm like, okay, I'm not doing that anymore. But when something is really looking promising and I'm like, oh, like, I'm going to give myself permission to go for it and not be like, okay, no, I don't have sex with people because, you know, or I don't do romance because I'm super spiritual, you know, that kind of thing. So take it how it resonates in your own life. Okay. Like, when something seems too good to be true, that's what like the Lover's energy really represents for me as well. It's like my card of too good to be true. Don't buy it and move in that direction, because that's one of the ways how spirit talks to us. Go into it. That's our intuition, right? Is leading us into it. And we discover more about ourselves. Not clinging on to the things, not clinging on to someone else because we need them to make us happy, but also recognizing that you called in this good thing. You know, you called in this thing that's too good to be true. Don't let it, fall by the wayside, whether that is a person, whether that is an opportunity, like a new direction, a brilliant idea, that seems too good to be true. Do not buy that. Okay. Do not buy that limiting mind. Cause like, it's like, I think the biggest challenge, what I'm feeling, the biggest challenge is that you have come so far and these old narratives are just like trying to hang on for dear life. And it's because there's like a certain degree of like, you know, there's a saying of neurons that fire together, wire together. And I feel like you're just so used to those specific ones wiring together that it's like, it just feels a little bit foreign for things to be so easy, for things to just move so in flow. And wow, I really just connect with myself and things can go like good, you know? So there's a lot of like reviewing of like, wow, don't beat yourself up for the years that you did make it hard, or that the years that were hard, or the years that you did fall under that false belief and you operated under that false belief of like, gosh, yeah, don't fall into like that whole thing of, if only I'd known this before. You weren't supposed to, you know, there was like, life isn't, that's not what makes it fun. You know, that's not what the human experience is about. It's like the revelation along the way. And we know what we need to know when we need to know it. And we transform when we're supposed to, no sooner, no later. But this was such a beautiful reading. If this was yours, leave a wave emoji in the comment section, because we are in our divine feminine flowing with things. Things just come to us, all right? I hope this brought clarity, confirmation, peace to your heart. Pile number 3. Again, if you want to breathe with me, check it out, all right? Don't hesitate, because spots are limited, and I am announcing this across all of my social media platforms. Much love. Hope to see you soon. Hey, group number 4, what is up? I'm here with your November energy readings. Before we get into it, I have a really exciting offer I want to extend to you. So the day that these are going live, I'm also announcing on my other platforms, social media platforms, about this awesome offer that I'm currently extending. And if you guys have known me and been a part of any of my content for a while, you know that I go on about the importance of having a clear channel, consciously developing a clear channel between our higher self and our limited self, like our human form, right? Clearing the channel so we can hear more of our wisdom, so we can hear more of how it is for us in this life, and so we can follow our soul's plan and our highest calling with confidence. All right, and fearlessness. And yeah, I mean, the benefits of consciously utilizing tools and techniques to do this are endless. And so some of you guys know that I have been going through a training program to lead both breathwork and meditation, and I'm coming up to my certification. So between now and my certification, I'm offering one-to-one private 20-minute donation-based breathwork and meditation containers where I curate a breathwork and meditation sequence specifically to support you in whatever areas that you want greater support or clarity in. Okay, so this is like for the donation based kind of exchange and for this type of container one-on-one private, I'm probably not going to offer something like this again. So if it speaks to you, I would highly encourage you to go ahead and jump on that. And everything else to learn about it is in my description box. Okay, come breathe and meditate with me. I'm excited to meet more of you guys face to face, real time, or screen to screen, I guess, depending where you live, I guess. But yeah, that's that. We're gonna jump into the reading 3 aspects today. The main energy for November, the main theme. Next are the highlights and milestones you can expect, as well as areas of growth and challenge that you may come across in this month. Remember, nothing is set in stone, but we are dealing with timeline probabilities. So where the most amount of momentum is gaining in your field. Okay, so what is the main energy theme for group number 4, please? Those guides overseeing group number 4, these two. Thank you. The guides overseeing group number 4, can you please give us information as much as you can about the highlights and, ooh, I just got butterflies. Wow. Y'all might be meeting someone soon, or someone's giving you butterflies. Okay, so highlights and milestones for pile number 4. Highlights and milestones, pile number 4. All right, similar energy. Wow, I just saw same card came up for another pile. Beautiful. Okay, next we're getting into areas of growth and challenge. Areas of growth or challenge for group number 4, please. The guides overseeing, clear, concise, accurate messages. Anything else? All right, let's get it. And because I kind of have OCD sometimes, I'm going to shovel this because I did it for every other pile. Okay. We don't self-diagnose though. All right, so main energy for group 4, the month of November. Pachamama. Whoa. Similar cards coming up. If you guys were drawn, I'm going to say it. Pile number 1, I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, there were similar cards already coming up. Only if you were, honor if you weren't. But if you were, I would go ahead and check that out. Power. So we're calling back in more of our power. I say that because I saw this one and then I saw a card of here. I got a little glimpse of it. So yeah, you are feeling restored. You're coming into more of your power because you are healing. You are cleansing, or this could be saying that you're doing something. You're taking more control of your health. That could be spiritual health, mental health, emotional health. And because of it, you're calling more of your power. You're becoming more clear. All right. Your field is becoming more settled. I'm seeing this image of a lake that's very muddy. All right. And part of healing is allowing the debris to settle and the debris to kind of dissipate, not just settle, but it's like dissipating. All right. We don't want it to settle into the subconscious, but it's like evaporating. All right. Layers of debris and unsurety and unclarity, right? Is that a word? But just confusion, I guess, is a better way of saying that. So what does this have to do with? Main energy theme for November. What does this have to do with, please? Calling in more of your power. Anything else you want to tell us? Okay. 6 of Pentacles. Emperor. Yeah, power. A lot of power. This is highlighted by power. And 3 of Pentacles. You're not taking other people's word for anything. All right, the month of November, there might have been, you might have a tendency of, because I am going to note that wanted to come up in reverse. There might be somewhat of a tendency to put other people as like somehow knowing better than you. Okay, so you're calling back more of your power because I feel like you're seeing how you're having a realization, or there's like something very physically, like there's a physical representation, like physical proof that things work different depending who you are. Okay, and I'm going to say the same thing to you that I said to group number 1 that had similar energy. Modern science and modern medicine is based on denser forms of consciousness. If this, then that. That's like very absolute. Nothing on this planet is absolute. And the more that we see through like mystics and yogis, we see that the higher or the more expanded we become in consciousness, things just work different. It doesn't work the same. We have so many accounts of sages, mystics, so many written sacred texts All right. And people that we've heard from verbatim, that I have heard speak on verbatim, people that I really trust that would have no reason to make it up. Things just work different, especially for everyone. We're each universes into ourselves. And so you're calling back more of your power because you're really like seeing how you are a universe unto yourself. And you don't have to take anyone else's word for it. Okay. And so that's kind of the theme of like, I trust myself. I trust myself above anyone else. And, you know, sixes are all about like expanding, all right, and achieving greater balance. And so I feel like if you guys are, whatever you do for work, whatever you do in work, I feel like people around you, your coworkers, or the people that you work for, or that you provide services for, or products for, whatever it is you do, are feeling it. You're infusing everything with this deeper and like notable undertone of power. Okay, you just scream elevated. You scream power. You just it's so clear that you feel so confident and you are seen as an authority figure. Okay, so November, you're feeling like I got it going on. Okay, I'm feeling whole. I'm feeling like I can do this. I'm feeling like I am in control of my life and where I'm going. Okay, and a big part of this, I feel like, is releasing that. There's like Saturnian energy I'm feeling here of not bowing down to authority or to people that, you know, kind of like think that they're an authority or have any type of authority over us. It's not bowing down to those things, not bowing down to those people. It's kind of like a rebellion, you know. Lilith represents rebellion, but a rebellion that comes from honoring our sacred truth, our sacred mission, no matter how different it might look from other people. Okay, so this is beautiful. I'm here for it. All right, so what are the highlights and milestones? Time to go. So just like I said to pile number one, it's like once we go through these types of shifts, we just be different. The more that we be different, that these internal shifts happen, it is inevitable. The things we do are going to be different. The doorways we feel like we can open are going to be different. The people we think we can date, we can be friends with, we can, collaborate with, we can work with, are going to be different. This is an upgrade. This is an up-leveling. The fates. Hell yeah. Things are changing. It is time to go. Group number 4. It is like things are changing in a really positive way. And I feel like whatever it is you're doing is feeling good. Whatever it is you're doing is expanding. So think about whatever it is that for you that you would be like, wow, if, you know, I'm doing this, it's my passion, it's what I really enjoy doing. Whatever matters to you in that regard, I feel like the more that you're just like pumping up your self-power and just like, yeah, I'm an authority. Yes, I know what I'm talking about. Yes, I can speak from a place of truth. From my own, there's universal truth, but we're all expressions of representations, unique aspects. Our personal truths are these unique aspects of truth, right? And so all of this power is funneling into whatever you're doing in life. So let's get deeper. What are the highlights and milestones? There's most certainly a milestone. The Fates is literally like the card of milestone. So you're either walking away from something that you're like finally, or you're moving towards something that you're like, yes, this is what I've been waiting for. So we have the King of Swords, we have Ten of Pentacles, we have the Star. So a milestone is something, look at all the star, something that I feel like you once did not feel good enough for, or that maybe it could even be like energetically, like being around a certain type of person made you like question your own worthiness or question your own authority. It's like a huge milestone you're seeing this month is like, it doesn't pull on you the same way. You don't question yourself the same way. You don't question if you belong the same way. You recognize that you have earned your spot to be there, and you recognize that we each come in with our own gifts, our own talents, our own strengths, our own weaknesses, our own karmic propensities, our own hangups, and we're all human at the end of the day, and we each have our own stories that are relevant to be told. Okay. And so I really do see a huge milestone is there's a door you're about to go through, a new door you're about to enter. And I feel like it's everything. It's part of your mission. You're aligning more and more to that timeline that you know deep down you're here for. That timeline that seems maybe too good to be true, depending who you ask, I guess. But if you ask the right people that are already in this world, living their heaven on earth, then they would say, fuck yeah, it's possible. Okay. And so you are like merging more and more with those people, finding more and more of those people, and not tiptoeing around who you are. All right. And so whatever you're doing is really up leveling. You're reaching, definitely milestones for sure. This is highlighted by a fate. These are big like fate cards. These are big cards of like, it's out of your hands, even though you've been working hard to get here. You haven't been giving up. You've been putting in the work spiritually, mentally, emotionally, right? And so there's a sense here too about not getting too carried away by the realms of your mind, not getting too carried away by fantasy, okay, with the King of Swords, and just allowing things to unfold as they will. But things are really picking up, and I feel like the area this is affecting, again, relationships, material world, so things that, even if the money is not going up, things that will one day, or that are in some way significant to that. So another way of saying that is like, if you have a newsletter and people are subscribing to your newsletter, and that's where you release offers and deals. It's like, okay, that in some way has the potential to, support you as you're giving your gifts from this authentic space. You're seeing something that like you're getting actual like physical confirmation that it's happening. Okay. It's time to go. It's happening. Okay. So yeah, and something about expression, your truth, what you speak about, how you express yourself, milestones in those areas. Okay, so lastly, we're going to dive into the areas of growth or challenge for you. Areas of growth and challenge. We have tension. We have communication. Yeah, that King of Swords was coming up too. And we have strength, dignified. Let's get a little bit deeper, because I'm already getting a lot of different things that this could mean. The strength, the dignified means that this is about an alignment, like planetary alignment, where like, for example, I love this example. My Mercury, so the planet Mercury in my chart, is in the sign of Virgo, which, Virgo is ruled by Mercury. So that would be a dignified position. So this is really saying that a point of tension might be that, because you're so empathic, I feel like it might be hard to communicate to people that you're moving on, that you're going in a new direction. This could be even something with career, you guys, or something that has been long-standing in your life, because I'm seeing that these two birds and these two birds kind of look alike, and it's like you might be breaking some news to them that, causes some deep emotion, but we'll get deeper. Ooh, yeah, we have the 5 of Cups that just came up, okay? So an area of growth or challenge, it could be, again, we're having this up-leveling that's happening, and so certain people's energies can't make it, and there's nothing that we have to feel bad. Especially empaths tend to feel bad because a lot of the times we have had in our soul's blueprint these codes of, we know what rejection feels like. We know what it feels like to be left out because we're different and weird and just like, not weird, but we were just like not the same as other people. We just had a lot going on in our internal worlds and spiritually just like very expanded and didn't know what it meant. And so we kind of know what it's like. And so I feel like there just might be like, the more that you're becoming aligned with your authenticity, because that King of Swords is all about throat chakra, okay? And the more that's coming through your self-expression, I feel like people might not be used to you speaking in such a powerful tone, or you like are just acting different, and not in a bad way, but just acting more in greater alignment with that inner authority. And so it might just be throwing some people off because in some way, maybe they benefited from you not knowing your power. The Magician. Yeah, you're creating something new. Things are changing. All right. And I don't know what's in the air, but there's all of these piles were so incredibly it screamed milestone. It screams upgrade. I feel like, gosh, I just saw something about this on TikTok too. Like, I think we're just like, we've just been really holding down the vibe or something, and we just have been quantum leaping, you guys. All of these piles are like quantum leap, huge quantum leap. It is time. It is time. We don't have to answer to other people. We don't have to pretend that we don't know. You know, pile 4. You know what you're here for. You know what you have to offer. You know that your gifts work. You know that the things you have been guided to work. You know what you have to give to this planet because you have healed your own self by fearlessly I don't want to say shamelessly, but like by persevering no matter what. And maybe it is shamelessly. Maybe it was shamefully. Maybe you were like, this process has been a long time coming because it's like the shame and the embarrassment and the feeling so small, not good enough has felt like it's plagued you for so much of your life. And you're stepping out of that. All right. And so the people that like kind of benefited from you, the versions of self that operate under shame, greater degrees of shame, they can't control you. They can't, it's like, wow, you're really coming into a deep degree of power. Okay. And so this is like being truthful as much as you can, being honest about the places where your energy is dignified, where it is respected, where it is welcomed. And you do not have to stick around the places where it's not. And you can even, doesn't mean we have to completely write them off, but at least give yourself time to take a break from them. But I feel like there's something here about there could be some grieving that happens about some sort of ending, walking away from something, or even, naturally when we go through a new door, we're walking away from something. Even if the highlight is the going through a new door, things are naturally going to fall away. For some of you, it's going to be the highlight is leaving something that you're like done with, but there's grief because it was in your life for so long and you just became familiar with it. Okay. And so there's some like a challenging point might be something that you have to say to something or some news you have to break to someone. Could even be something that you're hearing from someone else, but I'm not really getting that to a great degree. I feel like it's just you coming online more and really expressing your needs and what is right for you and what's not. All right. So group number 4, if this was your pal today, leave a little bird down below. Okay. Leave a little bird emoji, your favorite one. And if there's nothing else you want to share, and continue creating and aligning, creating from that wellspring of power, because things are shifting and we are quantum leaping for sure. And yeah, I do hope to see you on my channel again soon. Much love.